So you're networking for a job and you've reached out to a bunch of people. That's great, but you'll probably want to stay in touch over time so you can stay top of mind. And that means reaching out to the same people more than once. But what do you say when you're reaching out a second or even a third time and you don't have a specific ask? That's probably the number one question I get from the people I coach who are networking for a job. Keep watching, and I'll share a tip I learned as an executive recruiter that will make it easier to stay top of mind with your network and ensure you always have something relevant to say when you reach out. And we'll include a little AI to make it that much easier. Hi, I'm Doug Lester, a career strategist and executive coach to MBAs and ambitious people who want to advance their careers. I used to be a senior recruiter at a top executive search firm, and my job, it was all about networking. I needed to reconnect with people in my network all the time to keep relationships fresh and strong. And I learned a trick that helped ensure I always had something relevant to say when I did. And I'm going to share that trick with you in this video. In this series, I partnered with Covve, a personal CRM, to share insights I gained as an executive recruiter that make networking more effective. I'll share a technique that I used to make recontacting people in my network easier when I didn't have a specific ask, and I'll show how Covve makes doing it less work. And if you decide you want to give Covve a try, watch to the end of the video, and I'll share how you can try Covve for free and get a 15% discount if you decide it's the right personal CRM for you. So if you've ever networked for a job, you've probably run into this problem. You have a conversation with someone at a company you want to work for. It's productive, maybe even encouraging. But sadly, they don't have any job openings that would be a good fit. So you say thanks and they say to keep in touch. Everybody feels pretty good about it. Then a few months go by and you want to check back with the same person to make sure they haven't forgotten about you. They said to stay in touch after all, but what do you say? How do you show up in their inbox or DMs without feeling like you're being annoying, pushy, or just a little desperate? Admit it. You've worried about it, and it's probably kept you from sending a follow-up message. I worried about it too when I was an executive recruiter. Really. I recontacted the same people all the time, and it wasn't always because I had something specific to ask them. So how do you check back in with your networking contacts when you don't have a specific ask? It's just like any other situation when you're getting in touch with a person after time has gone by. You need a pretense. That's right, the old social standby. A pretense. And it goes something like this. Hi, I saw something that reminded me of you the other day, and I thought I would share it. In the end, what you end up sharing, it isn't overly important. But what is important is that something other than your job search or career advancement prompted the outreach. It could be a development at their company that you read about and you want to congratulate them for, news about a competitor that might be useful, or some other valuable bit of information that your contact will benefit from. Now, don't get me wrong. The person you're reaching out to will probably know it's a pretense. But does that really matter? We do all kinds of things in life to ease social situations and make other people, and ourselves, feel a bit more comfortable. And whatever bit of information you offer up is likely going to be better than starting with, hey, I know it's been a few months, but do you happen to have any job openings yet? Not so smooth, right? And if you find something to share that's truly interesting or valuable, all the better. And that's where Covve comes in. In addition to helping you keep track of the people you network with and the interactions you have with them, Covve can serve up a news feed for each of your contacts based on their interests, and it's right there in their contact card when you're getting ready to reach out to them. So let's revisit our friend Anna at the Fantastic Company. In a previous video, you were planning to reach out to Anna based on a referral from her friend and colleague Omar. You emailed Anna and set up a call a few days later. Anna was friendly and helpful, but she didn't have any job openings on her team at the time. She suggested, though, that you stay in touch. You decided that you should probably reach out to Anna every 2 months, give or take, and you chose that option in Anna's record in Covve. So 2 months have passed, and Cove is reminding you to get in touch. But what do you say? Anna will know you're reaching out to make sure she doesn't forget about you in case there are any openings on her team. But in many situations, and maybe even this one, it would be better to start off with something else. A pretense. When you spoke with Anna, she mentioned she has a pug named Enzo, and that her husband Paul is thinking about finding work in Austin, Texas, and that she, Paul, and Enzo may relocate there at some point. She also said not to worry about losing her as a contact. She wouldn't be leaving the fantastic company since her job is almost 100% remote. You, of course, took a few notes in Cove. At the same time, you also added a few related topics to her news feed. You also added her industry, which is health tech. Anna works on fitness trackers. If you wanted to, you could also add the name of her company, but since we made up the fantastic company, it's not on the list. Now, when you check out Anna's newsfeed, you can see news stories about topics that are relevant to her. Since we want this to be more of a soft contact, just to say hello and stay top of mind, let's share the story about pugs. So you copy the link to the story, head back to Cove, and let AI help you draft your message. While you'll still need to and should personalize the AI generated copy to reflect your previous interactions with your networking contact and the nature of your relationship, Cove makes finding the pretense you need to kick the conversation off that much easier, so you can get your message out with less stress and less worry about what you're going to say. Pretense identified and deployed. So, if you're interested in trying Cove, its newsfeed, and the AI generated text, there are links in the description for this video. You can try Cove for free, and if you like it and want to subscribe, you can get a 15% discount by using my link, which is also in the description. It will help support me and the content I create about networking more effectively and advancing your career. Thanks for watching.